Welcome back to the PI Planning Cooking Show. This week we're going to take a small but very valuable diversion into communities of practice, or guilds, or capabilities, or whatever you want to call them.
Welcome to the PI Planning Cooking Show with Shane Harrison.
So what are these things? Let's talk about what they are. So fundamentally, they are the organization's skills. So if they were a person has particular skills. The ability to hit a ball with a bat is probably more accurate. The ability to ski, they have all of these skills. And communities of practices or guilds or capabilities are essentially that. They are the same for an organization, for a company. So a company, for example, has the ability to manage and deliver value through its delivery management capability. What do they do, or the delivery management community? What do they do? Well, that would normally consist of things like if you had project managers, you'd have those, but generally speaking, if you're talking in the SAFe world, we're talking about STEs, so solution train engineers. We're talking about RTEs, release train engineers. We'd be talking about Scrum masters. Those are your primary delivery management, or primary members of your delivery management capability. So they are the ones who provide the ability to manage and run engagements or trains or arts delivering value. On the other side, or balancing that out, usually to a large extent, you have product management with your solution manager, your product manager, your PAs. Often you have business analysts in there as well, even though it's not listed in SAFe. You'll have product analysts. You might even have requirements engineers. You have maybe even people who map business flows and things like that. People with UML experience may be inside there, because what they are doing is they're identifying what is the thing that we need to have solved or improved or implemented. And there are other communities of practices, not the least, probably the greatest and biggest one you have is your actually development teams themselves, your development capability. So the reason I'm talking about that now, before we jump into how do I create my agenda for my IP iteration, is because a lot of the stuff that happens in the IP iteration should be focused on these groups. Number one in your IP iteration should always be to learn for the art, but also to learn for the community. Number two is to have a plan. Because if you don't learn before you have a new plan, what are you doing? Repeating all the mistakes you made last time. Now that's okay. It's okay to repeat mistakes by choice. It is not okay to repeat mistakes by accident. So there's always more than we can possibly do, whether we're talking about features or improvements. And the key is to choose which improvements that you want to make. So let's go back to the core of the topic, communities of practice. It's very important that you invest time in those. And what you would normally do is reserve some time in your IP iteration. You would reserve some time in your normal PI as well. The objective of the people who are facilitating or leading the communities of practice must be the ongoing development of that particular skill, that community's ability to deliver value into the organization. Whether it's value into the organization by writing better code, or value into the organization by orchestrating and facilitating better delivery through better PIs. So please spend some time on that. Make sure you have your communities of practice identified, or your guilds, or your capabilities, or your organizational skills, whatever you want to call them. Invest in that. That's really, really important. And we're going to talk more about what you're going to do with those groups once we go into the next episode. Now, the next episode, we're going to talk about planning your IP iteration. I have a few tips based on things that I do slightly differently from out of the box SAFe. Those changes are based on feedback from clients that I work with and feedback from other practitioners like you. So you will have heard in the last episode, we want feedback in the comments. We still want that feedback in the comments. So thanks for listening to this episode of the PI Planning Cooking Show. Go out, create your communities, get them up and running. They are a gold mine of learning, thus a gold mine of performance and a gold mine of value. The next episode of the PI Planning Cooking Show will be talking about planning your IP iteration. Now, in that, I am assuming you have a community of practice, so go do it. Thanks for joining us in the PI Planning Cooking Show. I hope you enjoyed this little sojourn into communities of practice. And please leave your comments below, click on the bell so you will be alerted next time it comes. And don't forget, we are going to San Diego, where we want you to tell us who you think we should interview and the questions you would like those people to answer. Have a great day, have a great week. See you next time, and have lots of fun while you're doing whatever you're doing. Goodbye.
That's the PI Planning Cooking Show with Shane Harrison.